What's up everyone, back for another vlog, and in today's vlog I will be discussing the upcoming 2022 BeerTuberpalooza along with showing you the Oktoberfest beers that I'll be reviewing this year during the official Oktoberfest celebration in Munich, Germany. And finally we're going to talk about content on the channel in the fall throughout the rest of the year. But before we hop right into the vlog, I do want to mention that in the description box you will find timestamps to any of the topics, so you can just jump right in. You don't have to watch the entire vlog because this is going to be a longer vlog. So if you just want to, see me talk about the Oktoberfest beers or the content throughout the rest of the year, you will be able to do so without needing to fast forward and try to figure out where that is. So just wanted to point that out. Now let's get into the vlog. So 2022 BeerTuberpalooza will take place this year on Saturday, September 24th in Albany, New York. Now, this was first started by Matt over at Massive Beer Reviews. It's kind of his, his baby, so to speak. And he started it in 2019 because he wanted a big get-together, like a beer share of, some of his beer tubing friends. So he hosted the event in 2019 and 2021. We didn't have a 2020 event because obvious reasons, of course. So he hosted the last two at his place in New Jersey, but this year we decided to go with a centralized location that's a little quicker for everybody to get to. For most people, it's about a 3.5 hour drive to Albany of everybody attending, where Matt's is maybe an hour and a half further. So we rented out a big Airbnb, and we are going to drink, hopefully, a lot of great beer. The first 2 years were awesome. This year, I imagine, is going to be just as good. Like I said, Matt created it because he wanted to, have in-person meetups with, people who he virtually speaks to and talks to and whatnot. And I think it's a great idea. So I will be attending again this year. It'll be Matt and myself, along with Kyle over at No Hype Beer Reviews, Sean and Mike over at Nerd Sense, Dan and Mike over at FLX Beer Reviews, Keith over at 93 Lumber, Jesse over at Bumpy Road Brews, and Tanner over at East Coast Liquor Reviews. That, I think, is the list of beer tubers attending. We do have some friends and former beer tubers. We have Joe and his wife Amanda. Joe is a former beer tuber of the now defunct NEPA Beer Reviews. He is now a professional brewer. He has come before the last 2 years he actually came. This year he's bringing his wife along. I believe Keith's partner Katie is also attending. We also have a viewer of the channel, Steven. He's a viewer of everybody's channel and sends out some great beer mails. He should be attending. And I believe, I'm trying to think who else was supposed to come. I don't know if anybody else is coming. I don't know. Kyle has all the details on that, but I'm not exactly sure who else is coming. I think that's pretty much the main people, but Matt usually opens it up to a lot of individuals, and I know Kyle and Matt have both invited a bunch of different beer tubers and friends of their channels and whatnot. So we are hopefully going to have a decent sized get together, and we're going to produce hopefully a ton of content. Typically about a week after the event, you will see a lot of content rolling out on our channels. In addition to that, there'll probably will be a live stream on that Saturday. We did that last year. We did a really long live stream. Now, last year I attended BeerTuberpalooza, but I was 7 weeks removed from open heart surgery, so I didn't have any content on my channel. I drank like 1 ounce pours of anything I had. I took it easy. This year, I might drink 2 ounce pours, but I still, can't get, hammered and shit faced and whatnot. So I'm just going to pick and choose what I want to review and drink. But if they do a live stream, it'll probably be a live stream to everybody's channel involved. So you might see that on my channel next Saturday. So I'm really looking forward to it. Again, we rent out a big Airbnb, and everyone's bringing hopefully some really good beers, and I just cannot wait. There's a couple of folks that I have never met before, like Jesse and Tanner. And I can't wait to see everybody else that I'm friends with. And I haven't been able to do a lot of live streams and dual reviews this year, so this will be my one time this year to socialize with my beer tubing friends in person. So anyway, be on the lookout for content. Again, next Saturday and about a week after that into probably October, you'll see a lot of that. So I cannot wait. And anyway, I'm just super pumped. As you can tell, I'm like giddy. I'm like, let's do this. Anyway, so Oktoberfest beers. Now, I've reviewed Oktoberfest beers every single year except for last year. I didn't bring back my channel until I think it was like early October, and at that point I already had a lot of beer on hand that I needed to review that weren't Oktoberfest, so I kind of didn't review any Oktoberfest last year. The first 3 years, however, I reviewed quite a few Oktoberfest. The first year in 2018, I reviewed I think like 5 or maybe 6 of them. And then in 2019 and 2020, I decided to review all my Oktoberfest beers during the official Oktoberfest celebration in Munich, Germany. Typically it's 16 days. This year it's 17. And because I didn't review any last year, I'm doubling up. I'm reviewing 10 different Oktoberfest beers, over a 17-day period. So again, it starts on, I believe it's Saturday, September 17th, and it ends on Monday, October 3rd. I have 10 beers, so I'll be reviewing one every other day. There will be one little stretch where there's 3 Oktoberfest reviews in a row, and I'm cool with that because it is the time for some Oktoberfest beers. So as you can see, these are all the beers I have. They're in order of how I'm going to post them from your left to right, and I will say I only grabbed one authentic imported German Oktoberfest beer, and that's because I'm kind of running low. Typically, I'll review 2 imported German Oktoberfest beers each year, but I'm down to like 3 or 4, and I don't want to like review 2 this year, 2 next year, just be done. No more imported German Oktoberfest. So I'm going to review 1 per year going forward, and it's going to be on the final day of Oktoberfest. So let's go over these real quick. Again, this is going to be a longer vlog, so again, if you want to just hop around, you can. So first off, we have one I'm really excited about. It's from the Boston Beer Company, aka Samuel Adams, and it is their Fest beer. So they call it a smooth lager, 5.8%, 22 IBUs. So I believe I'm reviewing it. They released this one for the first time back in 2021, last year, and I didn't get a chance to grab it. This is their take on a Fest beer style Oktoberfest. So there's 2 styles. There's the Märzen or Marzen style, and then there's the Fest beer. The Fest beers are actually served under the tents in Oktoberfest, and I think that's been the case since the 1970s. And it's basically a more quaffable, drinkable Oktoberfest, where the Märzens maybe a little bit more heavy, and these are a little bit more robust. I shouldn't say robust, they're just easier to drink, which is why they serve them at the official celebration. So I can't wait to see how this compares to the Oktoberfest. I think Samuel Adams Oktoberfest from a bigger national craft brewery, it's pretty solid. So anyway, next we have a beer I've had before, but I've never had it since they actually oak age it. So this is Oktoberfest from Firestone Walker. It's an oak age lager. We'll get the deets at another time. I don't know. It's 5.2% alcohol by volume. So they used to always call this Oktoberfest, but it was not actually oak age until I think it was last year or the year before. Somebody could correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure it was 2020 or 2021 they actually started oak aging this. So I had this numerous times before that, and it wasn't oak age, and it was okay for an Oktoberfest. I wasn't blown away by it, but I'm curious to see how an oak aged one from Firestone Walker is. Can't wait to get in that one. Next, we have the only Western New York Wednesday Oktoberfest review this year. This is from Big Ditch, and it's their beer that tastes like beer series, and it's their Oktoberfest. This is a Märzen style. So this is a Fest beer style, this is a Märzen style, and this is also a Märzen style. And I just love this series. This is 6%. I mean, they do a great job with the series. So I'm looking forward to seeing what they do with an actual Oktoberfest beer. Next, we have what might be the most interesting of the bunch. It is a non-alcoholic Oktoberfest beer. So like I said, about a month ago, I'm going to start, working in some non-alcoholic beer reviews, and this is going to be fun, hopefully. So this is Athletic Brewing's Oktoberfest as non-alcoholic Fest beer. Don't believe this is Fest beer. I think this is a Märzen. A lot of times you'll see American breweries just put Fest beer on it, but it'll definitely be in the Märzen style. But I saw pictures of this, and this definitely looks way darker than a Fest beer. Contains less than 0.5% alcohol, and yeah, I'm really looking forward to it. I have not had a beer from Athletic. I know Athletic does some really good things, so really pumped up for that one. Next, we have from Three Floyds. We have Three Floyds. We have their Munsterfest. So this is a Märzen style, I believe. I think all of these are Märzen styles except for the Fest beer this year. Does it have the ABV? It's an awesome. It says Oktoberfest style lager. I mean, that label is fantastic. It's what you expect from Three Floyds. Does it have an ABV? I do not see an ABV on here, so I'll have to look it up unless I am missing it somewhere and I'm an idiot, which might be the case. Yeah, Märzen style Fest beer brewed with the finest, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, it doesn't have the ABV, so whatever. Really looking forward to this one. I've heard good things about this one over the years, so I grabbed it. Next, we have Trogs, and I don't think they've ever released this one in cans. It's certainly not in distro. I don't think I've ever seen this. This is their Oktoberfest lager. So this is, again, I think a Märzen style lager. It's 6.1%. They don't specify what it is, a toasty sweet Fest lager. I don't know, we'll see. When we get in the review, we'll see what the deal is, but I think that, again, is a Märzen. I know this one is a Märzen. It comes from Goose Island. It's their Oktoberfest. So this one, yeah, it says German-style Märzen. 6.7% alcohol by volume, a little bit bigger than you typically see. So I picked this one up. I saw a couple of these in a mixed six-pack section of a local Wegmans, these two specifically. What other one? There was one other one I grabbed in there. No, maybe not. No, the Vorsteiner, yeah, that was definitely in there. So, yeah, I don't usually see, like, individual cans of them, so I was happy to get them. Next, we have from Schilling, we have their Constantine, and this is an Austrian-style Märzen, 5%. So, a Oktoberfest-style lager, and it's in the Märzen style, but it's an Austrian-style style Märzen. So that's pretty cool. Relatively fresh as well. So Schilling makes some great, like, just old school style beers. I had their Alexander, which I believe was a Czech Pils, and it was just delicious. Was it German or Czech? I forget what Alexander was. Whatever. It was a Pilsner. It was awesome. So I'm looking forward to that one. Next, we have one of the weirder ones of the bunch. We have from Founders. We have their Ultimate Oktoberfest. This is an Imperial German-style Märzen aged in bourbon barrels, and it comes in at 10% alcohol by volume. So yeah, it's a barrel-aged Imperial Märzen. Should this style like that exist? Probably not. It's kind of like when people like have Imperial mild ales, right? Or like Imperial like farmhouse or saisons, Imperial table beer. Like that's, those are styles that are like you're supposed to drink them. You're supposed to drink a lot of them. I wanted to pick that up because I heard some good things about it, courtesy of fellow beer tubers and friends of mine on Untappd. So I was like, you know what? It'll be something different in a sea of mostly Märzens this year. So we got the non-alcoholic, we got the Imperial bourbon barrel aged version, but the rest of them, kind of traditional. And last but not least, we have from Vollsteiner, we have their Oktoberfest Special Edition. Pretty sure this is a Märzen. I could be wrong, but I'm pretty positive that it is 5.9%. And yeah, haven't had this one a long time. I had it back in the day, but it's been a while since I've had this one. And where are they? Out of Vollstein, Germany? Yeah. So anyway, I'm really looking forward to all 10 of these beers. I didn't plan on doing 10. I was going to do 6 or 7, but then I was like, I didn't do them last year. And then I saw a bunch of different ones. I'm like, you know what? I'm just going to do 10, and we're going to do it in a 17-day period. So we're going to start with Sam Adams, finish with the Vollsteiner, and we're going to see what happens. So if you have any of these beers on hand, or you can easily grab them, it'd be awesome if you drank along with my review, or if you've had these and you see my review, post a comment, let me know what you thought about it. I think I have a pretty good mixture of different breweries, some more local than others, some ones that are all over, not just the US, but the world, and yeah, can't wait to get into it. So last but not least, let's talk about the content on the channel moving forward. So at the end of this month, we will be done, obviously, with Shelby Beers for the month. Most of the Oktoberfest will be done by the 3rd, right? The first and the 3rd in October, we will be done with Oktoberfest beers. And in October, what happens? 10 Days of Pumpkin. So if you're somebody who hasn't followed the channel over the last year or two, I do something called the 10 Days of Pumpkin, where at the end of October, I review pumpkin beers for 10 straight days, with the 10th and final day being October 31st, aka Halloween. And this is going to be the 5th annual 10 Days of Pumpkin. I've reviewed almost 50 different pumpkin beers on the channel to date. So it's getting a little bit harder to find pumpkin beers locally that I feel like aren't too local, where you probably can't get your hands on them. So I am enlisting the help of some beer tubing friends to hook me up with a couple different Oktoberfest beers that I've wanted to review for many years now. We just don't get distro of their beers anymore, and some other ones that I've really wanted to get my hands on over the years. So I'm hoping that I can get 10 unique beers that I've never reviewed before. I think it's going to happen, but I know there's a lot of my beer tubing friends and viewers of the channel, I hate pumpkin beers. I get it. I know there's a lot of you, but you know what's funny? There's a lot of people who love pumpkin beers. When late July, early August hits, at least once per week, I get a comment on the channel, where's the pumpkin beer content? This just showed up, so on and so forth. There's a lot of people that love pumpkin beers, and I'm one of them. I wouldn't say I love pumpkin beers. I really like them. Don't get me wrong, there are a lot of just okay, mediocre pumpkin beers, but then when you find a really, really good pumpkin beer, I don't know, I'm elated when that happens. It's becoming rare and rare because so many breweries will say, hey, this is a pumpkin ale, and all they'll do is throw 3 or 4 different spices into a very generic ale or beer in general. I feel like you got to brew with pumpkin to get that body a little bit bigger, maybe a little bit of earthiness from it, and then throw the cinnamon, nutmeg, allspice, clove, ginger, throw that in there, maybe a little bit of vanilla. Some places throw vanilla in there. That's nice. Sometimes even a little bit of maple syrup if you want to go outside the box. But it's one of those styles where for every 5 pumpkin beers I try, there might be one that's really good. And that's the truth. So, yeah, I'm going to do 10 Days of Pumpkin. It's going to be a 5th annual. And it's going to be a tradition that I hopefully carry on as long as I can. There's not a ton of pumpkin beers out there in my area. So, yeah, anyway, we're going to do that. As we move into the later part of the year, Thursday. November, I'm thinking of Thanksgiving, into November and December. I'm going to bring back holiday ales, I think, in December. So last December, instead of doing shelfie beer reviews, on Tuesdays and Fridays, I did holiday beer reviews for the entire month of December, where, I did a couple special reviews on Christmas Eve and Christmas, and then New Year's Eve and New Year's Day, first day of the year, next year in 2023. That's what I'm going to try to do. And I don't think I'm going to do shelfie beers in December. I'm going to replace it with holiday ales. If that's something that you think you would enjoy, let me know. It seemed like a lot of people had a good time with that last year. Again, much like the 10 Days of Pumpkin, we'll see if I can get enough holiday ales to really cover more or less like 9 or 10 days, Tuesdays and Fridays. Then you have, Christmas Eve, Christmas Day, New Year's Eve, New Year's Day. We'll see. I don't know. I might do shelfie beers in addition. We'll see. But yeah, you can expect that. The one other thing I want to talk about is something that that's been lacking on the channel for the vast majority of this year, and that's live streams and like duo beer reviews. So when I brought back the channel last fall, I did a lot of pre-recorded duo reviews with the guys over at FLX, Kyle over at No Hypes. We even did a big group review between all of us beer tubing friends, like the Nerd Sense guys and Matt and everybody. But this year, here's the thing: Monday through Friday, I can't really do any kind of like live streams or get-togethers, and that's when most of the people do it. Later on in the evening, Monday through Friday. Typically, I'm available late night of those nights, like talking like 11:30, 12, midnight, around that Eastern Standard Time. I can do typically live streams on like Saturdays, maybe some Sundays, but I'm gonna try to make it a priority to do more live streams and dual beer reviews as we finish out this year and go into next year. I do know one live stream I'm gonna try to do, about 98% confidence that I will pull it off. I want to do a year in review. I haven't done one since 2019. I did the 2018 year in review where I talk about the best beers I drank over the course of the year, maybe some of the best breweries I've enjoyed, surprise beers, disappointing beers, just kind of a review, a year in review of the channel and what I drank, and even talking about things that I've done, like hanging out with FLX boys and going to BeerTuberpalooza and stuff. And that's what I want to do as a live stream. I did it again 2019. It was very well received. I enjoyed it, so I'm going to try to do it again, maybe in later this year, or maybe like the first week of January of next year. That's definitely something I'm going to make a priority. If you have any suggestions for like a live stream, another reason why I just don't like doing a live stream just to do it. I kind of want to have some kind of purpose, some kind of topic. I'm very structured, if you know, with my reviews, when I review a beer and everything, I'm very structured. So when it comes to a live stream per se, I just don't want to be like, hey, let's just hop on with like 4 friends and we'll just shoot the shit. I'd rather do that off air. I think that's a little bit more fun. I like structure. I like actual topics, or I like to be doing a beer review. So if you have anything to throw out there, there's a recent subscriber to the channel, Mike. He was like, could you do a video talking about like imported German beers and the styles and some of your favorites and whatnot. And I was like, I really don't do those like editorial kind of videos. I typically would do something like that in a live stream. So that might be a fun thing, like talk about your favorite imported German beers and the styles and your favorite styles and things of that nature. That would be fun, and invite some folks onto the panel and just talk about it. Maybe drink whatever your favorite imported German beer is. And you could do that for a lot of different styles and a lot of different countries, and it would be fun. But something like that would be more enjoyable than just hopping on and just chatting for a little bit, right? But anyway, if you do have any suggestions, post in the comment section. Let me know what you think. So again, sorry for the longer vlog. I know this is probably, I don't even know, it's gonna be 15, 20 minutes, somewhere in that range. I would assume maybe even longer, but I like to talk, and we have 3 topics to talk about, and that's why there's timestamps. So hopefully, if you're watching this now, you are clicking on the timestamp and didn't watch the entire thing, because I wouldn't wish that on my own worst enemy. Anyway, once again, to recap, BeerTuberpalooza, Saturday, September 24th, should be a lot of content, maybe even a live stream that day. Oktoberfest Beers will start rolling out on Saturday, September 17th, and we'll finish on Monday, October 3rd. And fall content, hopefully we're going to do the 10 Days of Pumpkin, maybe some holiday beers, and maybe throw some live streams in there. We'll see. Anyway, if you've watched to the end and you watched the entire thing, please post something in the comment section and let me know. I know that probably tough to watch me more than like 7 seconds. I get it. It happens. But if you made it through to the end, post in the comment section and tell me how much you hate my guts. Anyway, appreciate everybody stopping by for another vlog. To the next one. Cheers.